Part 2, Chapter 2. So we get a bit of background on Stolz, which is quite fascinating. It uses the words here, diametrical opposites. That's precisely what I was thinking as I was reading it. As it's describing him, I was thinking, is this the perfect man? But then it goes on to describe him further as being a man who doesn't indulge in passions or poetry or anything of that nature, and that made me think, no, there's something missing. He's holding back, he's protecting himself, and it does say that in matters of the heart he protects himself. He doesn't indulge in any of that passion nonsense. And at one point he's asked, for whom are you saving yourself, Andrei? And he hums and haws and thinks, well, I probably am saving myself for someone, but I don't know whom. So, yeah, something missing. He's not vulnerable at all. And it does say that he never reaches the heights of ecstasy because he's holding back, you know. So it struck me as he's kind of like one of these online entrepreneurs. That's what it made me think of. Tom Bilyeu in particular, someone I used to listen to a lot, who has a podcast called Impact Theory, and he's made millions and millions. And I listened to him talking about the way that he became successful, which he does in his podcast, as well as in the course of interviewing guests. A particularly good interview was with Alex Hormozy, another such person. So these are the kind of people that make me think of when I'm reading about Stolz, because he's successful in that sense, in a business sense, in an achievement sense. And it explains that he's not, well, interesting, he's not a big risk taker, or is he? It describes him, if he comes up against a brick wall or a chasm, then he will use logic to figure out if this obstacle is surmountable, and if it's not, he'll back off. I suppose that's what good entrepreneurs do. When they come upon obstacles, they work out if they're surmountable, and if not, walk away. Then it goes on to ask the question, then why, if Stolz is such a logical, business-like character, why is he having a friendship with Oblomov? And that's where we get the bit where it says diametrical opposites. And it then goes on to discuss how Stolz takes solace in his friendship with Oblomov. Obviously they've got the shared childhood, and it said that Stolz had kisses lavished on him by Oblomov's family. So he's clearly been lacking in that on his side, particularly from his father. His mother probably would have done, and you know, with a loving relationship, but she was probably, I mean, this is me just surmising here, she was probably forbidden from doing that by her husband. That's what I would imagine. So he gets that love from Oblomov's family, and there's a scene in the film actually, several days in the life of I. Oblomov, which depicts the dream sequence, and you see Stolz and Oblomov walking around during the afternoon nap scene, and they're holding hands, and you know, they look like the best of friends, and there's a real love there, and I think that love has carried through into adulthood. And also it says that Stolz feels a kind of protectiveness towards Oblomov because he knows his character probably better than anyone. So I love that Stolz continues in the relationship with Oblomov, and it's so wholesome, you know. And it says, it's talking here about this relationship and why does Stolz maintain it. It says, finally and most importantly, there was Oblomov's essentially good and generous nature, something pure, untarnished and radiant, which instinctively reached out to everything that was good and to everything that was sensitive and responsive to the appeal of that simple, ingenuous and eternally trusting heart. Anyone, no matter how forbidding and malignant, who so much as happened to look into that innocent and childlike soul, or made a point of doing so, could not help responding to it, and even if circumstances precluded any relationship, would at least carry away a heartwarming and lasting memory from the encounter. Nice, huh?